This is Spice Wealthy Habits. So, all right, an accountant is a wealthy habit. We have here Trump keeps Trump in the IRS. The people who got PPP and EIDL are on pins and needles with this $80 billion that have been awarded or given to the IRS for compliance and to go back and get some of that money that was given out. We have ERC tax credits that are now available to small businesses. And we are talking today about celebrity bad advice, but it is a series that we'll keep talking about week after week. All right, y'all? Are y'all ready? Hey, y'all. Hey, it's me, and we are live. We are live this morning with Wealthy Habits, okay? And, right after this break, I've already told y'all what we're going to talk about. Let's get to it right after the break. All right, y'all. So in the news, we've already heard about poor President Trump. Well, not poor President Trump. He's like our former president, whatever. But anyway, they raided his house, and we don't know what that's all about. But I think it's because Trump keeps Trump in the tax system. And so they're like, look, let's just go knock on his door so y'all could know that, we're not for playing with. Y'all need to get it right. Okay. But one thing that made me think about, right? Last year, a couple of years ago, or like during the election time, former President Trump said that he paid $750 in taxes. And it was like all the accountants were talking about it.
President Trump, who's a billionaire, paid less income tax than teachers, firefighters and nurses in the year he won the presidency, as well as in his first year in office. The newspaper says it obtained tax records for Mr. Trump and his companies over 2 decades, and he paid just $750 in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017.
All the business owners were talking about it. Whether you like Trump or whether you don't like Trump, the fact of the matter is the man said that he paid $750 in taxes, and we know that he's not wearing an orange jumpsuit. Okay, so that means that Mr. Trump obviously legally paid only $750 in taxes. And my conclusion about the matter is that it's simply because he has a great accountant. Not a good accountant, but a great accountant. And that's why I started this series. And I said, you know what? Today I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to have a host. I'm not going to have a co-host with me. I'm not going to have an invited guest. I felt as though I needed to come back here to the pulpit of Business Combos and Coffee and, properly launch Wealthy Habits. Wealthy Habits, I know you guys have seen it, and you see me pull it out or roll it out. Wealthy Habits is my podcast, okay? And Business Combos and Coffee is where I come here live every Friday, and Wealthy Habits is the name of our podcast because I want middle class and entrepreneur people to be a have and not a have not, right? It's something to be said about those of us, and I'm saying me included, that are stuck in the middle. And the middle is really big because here in our country, you're either really wealthy or you're not as wealthy, and you struggle. Middle class people struggle, but some people in middle class think they're poor. So I'm saying you're either at the bottom or the top, right? And those who are on the bottom at the top, there are benefits there. There are often no benefits for those of us that are stuck in the middle, right? There's a song that goes, in the middle of it, in the middle of it. I'm going to praise in the middle of it, right? That's one of these, a gospel song that I actually really love. But anyway, I want to say today we're getting out of the middle, right? Wealthy Habits has been designed to help you guys get out of the middle. And today, the number one wealthy habit that we're going to talk about is having an accountant, okay? Having an accountant is a wealthy have. And the habit that you should be in is actually talking to your accountant. Most people think that you only talk to your accountant because it's tax time. You only talk to your accountant because, you know, you got an IRS notice. I bet you that the people that are at the top, they're talking to their accountant on a regular basis. They're texting their accountant. They're sending their accountant an email. Them and their accountant are friends. Their accountant is their trusted advisor. Talking to your accountant is a great wealthy habit to have. Now, if you're wealthy and you're not talking to your accountant, and you don't have an accountant advisor, and in our firm, we have what's called an entrepreneur advisory accountant. I am a former Big Four CPA and advisory accountant. I formed my company, X Financial CPA. Let's put, you guys see it down there. X Financial CPA is the name of the company. My name is Faisita Jackson, for those of you who are probably seeing this for the very first time. I am a former CPA, a Big Four accountant. I am CEO of X Financial CPA, where we help entrepreneurs and middle-class hard workers find the problem, know the solution, and go to their unlimited life. And I say grow to your unlimited life of wealth. All right. So let's take a moment. And this is going to be a series, just so y'all know. This is a series. And I'm not going to have time to run through all of the things that happened bad, but one of my favorite people that I like to listen to, because I like his no-nonsense stuff. And in my head, we're friends and we've never met. Mr. Steve Harvey. He interviewed with an influencer, and I'm going to play a clip of that interview. And he talked about his experience with his accountant. And the reason why I'm going to bring this interview in is because Mr. Harvey did not have a good experience with his accountant. But one of the things that I can say is that, his communication with the accountant probably wasn't where I'm explaining, and I've explained that it should be, even though he's a wealthy gentleman, right? I always tease people and I say I'm a Black girl in America. And so my mama, she didn't have a nanny. My mom, wasn't a millionaire or isn't a millionaire, but she's wealthy. Right? And Steve, the same thing. He probably was raised by his mom and his dad and his grandmother, and they had wealth, but not a lot of money. Right? And, when you have wealth and you have tons of money to go along with it, it's a different way that wealthy people with money, right? It's that financial matters are handled differently than wealthy people who work for their living. Okay. And so wealthy people with money have more options. Wealthy people with businesses have more options. And I'm here to help you guys through this. So we're going to cut over for a second, and I'm going to bring up this clip so you guys can see. Okay.
My accountant died, and a girl that worked for him called me and said, "We have a problem." She had found on the floor all my tax forms for 7 years signed and with the checks stapled to them. So I'm thinking, I done signed and I done stapled the checks. Well, they were cashing the checks, keeping the money, and not turning in the tax form.
You didn't know who the check was being made out to?
Oh, to the government.
So how did they cash it?
Well, they didn't cash it. They took the money out of the account that matched the exact, because I wasn't watching it
So
like
you could
that.
just see
I just
100,000,
600,000
Yeah, you looking at
deducted.
Yeah.
He ended that clip. He said, "You know what?" They said, "Well, how did the accountant do that?" And I'm not saying whether that's an accountant or not, because sometimes I do believe that accountants get bad reps, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But what Mr. Harvey said was he wasn't watching it, so that he wasn't having the relationship with the accountant that you got to have when you have wealth. I mean, you got to have a relationship with an accountant, and the right accountant, not any accountant. All accountants aren't created equally, right? And so you got to make sure that if you're playing baseball, that you have a baseball coach. I want to use my example. The baseball coach started teaching you how to play basketball, right? Giving you baseball rules to apply while you're on the basketball court. You with the wrong coach. You can't have a baseball coach coach you and teach you baseball rules to apply on the basketball court. You know what that's going to look like? You're going to pass the ball, or the ball is going to come at you, right? And you're going to hit it to your opponent, and your opponent is going to score. Why do you say that, Spicita? Because in baseball, the pitcher, the other team, throws the ball to their opponent, and their opponent's job is to hit the ball. In basketball, you pass the ball between you and your teammates. If a baseball coach is telling you when the ball come at you, hit it to your opponent, and you keep doing that, you're playing the wrong game on the wrong court. And this is what happens in accounting all the time in two instances. One instance, people take advice that belonged to someone else and apply it to their financial life. Even if the advice came from a great accountant, that great advice was for that person. Okay? You don't go around taking other people's medicine, because if you do, it could be detrimental. It's the same thing about financial advice, tax advice, accounting advice, accountant advice. And then now let's talk about using the wrong accountant. You may be using a tax accountant when you should be using a financial accountant, or you may need both. Or if your accountant can't do both, you need another accountant who can do financial and taxes. Because as in business, you're going to need to have good books. Because good books make good tax returns. And good tax returns are ones where you don't overpay. All right? So an accountant is a wealthy habit, not just to do your taxes and to do your books. A good accountant helps their clients achieve wealth through business, reclamation of time. A good accountant will help you avoid overpayments, not just tax overpayments, but sometimes people just have bad accounting and they don't get a chance to take advantage of discounts, or they double pay. Those are bad books. Your accountant can help you properly manage your financial life and help you even audit proof your financial matters. But look, we're going to have more time to talk about this. In this episode, you will meet people who have created generations of wealth or are creating generations of wealth through business. All right? And how their accounting relationship has helped them do better financially. Right? So this is what I want you guys to hear today. And I'm going to pause because I want what I feel like I've given you guys enough today, because this is a series. I want you guys to be a have and not a have not. And the way you do that in business is you have an accountant. And an accountant is not what you think an accountant is. People with wealth and money have a different relationship with their accountant. How do you know, Spicita? Because I'm that accountant. Okay? I work with Fortune 500. I work with many people with billions, millions. The relationship with the accountant is different. It's an advisory relationship. It's not a relationship where you're the person who's been keeping your books or the accountant who's been keeping your books simply send over the information to the accountant, hopefully, who's preparing your taxes, and now they save you a whole lot of money and you're happy. All accountants aren't created equally, but when you're making wealthy moves, creating wealthy habits, you want to have an accountant that's an advisor for you. So look, all right, in this series, Hold on, my phone is ringing through. I just want we will analyze people that have had bad situations. They'll be celebrities, and I'll probably bring some of my client stuff in. We'll learn from their mistakes and why choosing the right accountant is a great idea. How accountants differ. What accountant is not. When to call your accountant. What type of relationship do you want to have with your accountant? Why real accountants are not just bean counters. Real accountants, we evolve into asset builders. So it's almost an insult, I think, to call your accountant a bean counter. Because why would you need to even talk to somebody and all they can do is count beans? My 7-year-old son and my 5-year-old daughter can count your beans for you. You think people are paying accountants for that? You think wealthy people are simply paying their accountant just for that? Wealthy people are paying their accountants to build assets, retain their wealth, and pay $750 in taxes, while you give your hardworking thousands, tens and thousands over. So let me even say this. It could be a situation, and we'll answer this in this series. Has your accountant evolved with you? Maybe you feel like you couldn't afford an accountant. Maybe you felt like you had to go to one of these tax places to get your taxes done. That's not true. We work with everybody, and our prices are comparable. So ask yourself, have you outgrown your accountant? You need to probably think about this and consider and get with an accountant you can grow with. Right? A student should bypass their teacher, I believe. And I think your accountant should teach you. And you can make more wealth than them. You can make more wealth than me if you're my accountant and you listen. Because my priorities are different. Your priorities are different. And wealth looks differently to everybody. But everybody in this life should be a have and not a have not of their time and their resources. So, let's think about this. And this is not to knock any accountant, coach, or consultant, but people, you must educate yourself that there are levels to this wealth game. Have it. Period. So that's what I have for y'all for today. I'm Spicita Jackson. And until next time, don't forget to create wealth so that you can be a have and not a have not. So I got an opportunity for you guys before I go. How to audit proof your business. If you're worried about, oh, they have $80 billion, I got PPP, or if you're interested in the ERC loan, you want to save money on your tax bill, you want to know if you're in the right business type, I am going to drop my assessment fee, which is $3.99. If you go to our website, book a 10-minute consultation, it's going to be, and then say in the comment section, wealthy have it or wealthy habit. I want a wealthier habit. Put one of that jargon in, and I will give you my assessment for $99. You're going to speak with someone on my team. We're going to talk to you about where you are in your business so that you can have an accountant and be a have and not a have not. And then we're going to see how we can solve your tax problem. See if you qualify for this ERC tax credit. Yeah, there's some free money out there. I told y'all I'm going to talk about it. It's called the Employee Retention Tax Credit. And is it new? No, it's not new. But only businesses who did not get the PPP could receive this credit. And what a tax credit is free money. If you go to accountantthisway.com, that's our blog site. But if you go to the upper left-hand button, there is a button that says schedule with me. Go in there. It'll allow you to schedule with me. You put wealthy habit, get a wealthy habit in there. My team will send you the assessment. We'll send you the form, we'll send you the invoice, and basically you and I, they'll do all the pre-qualification questions, and then you and I will get together and I will do my assessment with you. So my schedule is really tight lately because we have the April 5th. Oh, We got the September 15th deadline coming up for you business owners and October 15th deadline if you filed an extension for your personal taxes. So don't forget to get that in, y'all. Those are the church announcements for today. And we are going to exit with this. At the end of this, I have a testimonial from one of my clients who actually thought that she, I don't know, can walk into one of these retail tax practices and found that, her accountant, me, was her best option because I knew her financial life best and saved her a ton of money, even when she didn't know I was saving her a ton of money. So after our accountant this way, listen to her testimony. Hope that it blesses you. And I'll see you guys again next Friday. Mwah. Love y'all. Bye. Got your taxes done.
Yes.
Can you give us the story?
Listen, I would have owed more if I did not come here. And now I feel relieved. I feel accomplished. I got a lot of things done and paid off thanks to you, 365, okay?
So listen, who had you done your taxes before you got here, and were our results different?
Yes, because I tried to do it on my own, but I was owing a lot. And coming here made a difference of more than $1,000 or $500. A significant difference.
Do you have a wealthy habit?
I'm trying to adopt wealthy habits, and therefore I need to lean on this accountant more often.
Who filed your extension?
My accountant I've been coming to inconsistently over the years, and she filed it for me.
Yes.
And I didn't even have to call her. She handled it for me.
Exactly. And then come over here. Now I had to file her 2020 tax extension. Somebody else did it. Then I saved her money on that because she did not get penalties
Correct.
for failing to file her taxes on time, because she filed on time because I filed her extension.
Yeah.
She actually thought she had a penalty this year.
I did think that. Because I'm very last minute with my taxes. I always do it very last minute. I always scramble and run to somebody. But somebody should have been 365 every single time.
Did you think you had filed an extension?
Well, I wasn't sure. I knew I didn't file an extension this year. Well, I thought I didn't. And I knew I needed to do that, and I was going to do it through TurboTax. But before I paid it, I said, I need to go back here to figure out last year if last year was even done correctly, and then I can move forward. And I'm really glad I came, because now everything is handled both years.
Yes. So you're walking out of here, tax liability
Free.
Exactly.
I am paid in full.
Yay!
Yes. I cheated on Spicita a few times. Last year in particular, I cheated on her, but she filed my extension and I didn't realize it until she pointed it out now. And when I just went on the IRS website to pay off my debt, I see the extension was filed again for this year. So she filed it for me 2 years in a row. I'm able to see that, and I'm thankful for that, even though I cheated on her.
You're welcome. So,
and I saved over $500 because I don't have penalties and fees.
Yay! So are you ready to pocket more profit?
Hands down, yes, that part.
And live in wealthy habits?
I am ready to be ultra wealthy all day, every day, 365. Yes, I'm going to actually tell other people to come here. Okay.
Finally.
Beautiful, smart woman. You need to come to her, please.
Yay, thank you.